All right. So we are doing a live and a podcast recording at the same time here. And I'm hoping to get in this reoccurrence of doing this like every week because I think there's different topics that I see people usually go on my social media. They're asking almost the same things. And I've gotten a ton about consistency and productivity. And people are just wondering, like, what do I need to do? I'm struggling with this. This is just something I'm not good at. And I don't know that I can help coach you through that, but I feel like I have some experience with what's worked for myself. So basically, that's what we're going to share today. We're going to bring in, let's just talk about consistency and productivity here for 15 minutes. I hope that this helps provide you guys some value. And I think it'll be helpful for anybody. So we got Jen in the background, so she's going to spit out some questions. If you have any questions, spit them out on here, and we'll answer them here just as I'm going. So basically, what is consistency? What is it? What is that, right? Like everyone knows, it's just like doing the same thing over and over again. But in life, it's kind of more about making sure you do specific things in life. Every day you brush your teeth, got to get your kids out the door. You have to do specific things and you have to do them consistently. And specifically, there's even consistent times and scheduling that goes into that, right? Like, it's just a mindless thing. Like we go to our sink and we brush our teeth and then we the next thing is we go shower, whatever we do. But you build them habits, and that's kind of what consistency is. And that's what I figured out what it is. It's forming good habits. And anytime you can form good habits is going to increase your productivity. It's going to make you feel better, and it's going to almost make it feel like you need to do these things to feel good or accomplished for that day. And when you miss that task, when you miss brushing your teeth, just using that as a simple one, you go out into the world and you're like, crap, like I didn't brush my teeth. What the heck? It's like you think about things like that. So what you need to do though is take that into your life now. Instead of like you brush your teeth, you do all the things in the morning that you always do, you move it a step further. Now you take it into the first hour of your day. And I've read a book like The 4-Hour Work Week. Like it's just maximizing the productivity that you're using during the day. So when you get to work, it's not just like, oh, all right, here we go. We're live. Here's my little to-do list for the day. And hopefully someone calls or whatever happens, right? Like you want a very specific targets and habits formed when you get to work to have the highest productivity, because the wealthiest people in the world, the actors, guys like The Rock, like you can imagine about every minute how precious of the day he has, right? Like he has to be super productive and he has to use every ounce of every minute he has. He just has to. If he doesn't, he's not maximizing his day and he's not going to be happiest. So anyway, let's talk about habit forming, routine, setting a schedule, just kind of what that looks like and how I've used this to be more productive. Like this is just stuff that's worked for me. And basically for me, in 2018, I started I just told myself like I'm going to work out in the mornings. I basically was working out after work. Well, of course you have kids, and then is so inconsistent, right? You feel different at every day. You got a headache. You have something else come up. You got a dinner that someone called you about. You got something with your friends. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that if all those other things are coming in and not keeping you consistent, you got to adjust. And I'm not a morning guy. I was never a morning guy. But I adjusted everything in the morning. So I started that. It was a simple workout routine. And this is how you want to work. Just work one freaking thing into your schedule. Don't overcomplicate this. One thing into your schedule. Mine was working out in the morning because I wanted fitness to be a key part of my life. And as an entrepreneur, I need to have high energy through each day. So fitness was the first thing that I started with. And when I basically started my fitness routine, it's like, all right, I gotta be to work by 7:30 or whatever. So you do the math backwards. It's like, I gotta be at the gym at 5:30. Like it can't be later than that. So then I just worked in the gym. I went from 5:30 to 6:30. I had got all my stuff done. I had the kids to daycare by 7:30. This was great. Perfect. So that was the one thing. Then I was like, man, okay, I'm starting to feel better. And then then I kind of added something. I was like, now I'm going to start drinking more water. Just simple, right? Like, but then I was focused on drinking water while I was working out and then like the first hour of my day. So now I have two things that I'm doing, and really I just used them to key off each other. Well, the problem is a year into this, right? Like you start wearing on yourself because now you're like, man, I'm just getting bored with this. I don't know what else to do. So many people get bored with it. And so you have to find new ways to motivate yourself. So then I added another way. I'm like, you know what else sparks my attention or gets me motivated? You know, I'm going to start listening to books or podcasts while I'm working out. Shit. Now that motivates me. I was learning something new. Not everyone can listen to a book and work out. It was just my thing. It's like, how am I going to educate myself when all day I'm working concrete or in construction? Like, you don't have enough time. So then I started implementing my books and my podcasts, things I was interested in, right? Like, you don't want to listen to stuff that you're not interested in. And boom, now I had workout. I was getting, I think, over half a gallon of water every morning, which is a great start. And then I was listening to my books or my content that would further my skills in life. So it's like, boom, I can get all that done in the same amount of time of me working out that 1 hour. So now from 5:30 to 6:30, I'm getting 3 things knocked off those. So I kept just adding things. And then I was 2-3 years into this workout routine, and I'm just explaining my situation. So it's like, this could be different for everybody, but this is like what worked for me. And then all of a sudden, like, you go through that grind and you're like, man, I got to add something new. So like every 6 months, I'm always like adding something new. And I was like, all right, now I want to write down my goals. I want to feel really invigorated and like ready to go each day and like motivated and like just have a lot of gratitude for what I was doing because I'm trying to accomplish something big and I have really big goals. So anyway, I would constantly lose the mission of my goals. So I was like, I'm going to write them down every morning. So I get home from the gym, 6:30. I spend 5-10 minutes. I mean, it doesn't take long. You're just jotting these things down in a notebook. And I'm just writing my goals. I'm writing my dreams out on a piece of paper. It changes day to day, it changes in my moods, it changes how I do things. But I always feel like if I tried to write them down before the gym and it just wasn't working. Like my brain didn't have enough pre-workout in it. Just was a zombie up there trying to like write down things. And I was like, let's move to the back side of the gym. The pre-workout's going, the brain's flowing, everything's moving. And I just felt so much better writing them down after the fact. So, man, I would write dreams. I was like, man, I didn't even think about this. I was like, what the hell? I want to write a book. I want to fly private one day. I want to donate $1 million to a good cause. Like, these are just wild dreams. And I use them just purely as motivation. But you know what? Then that sparked me to be more motivated to have my mornings routine. And so now it was like I said, I was 3 years in this habit from 2018 to basically 2020, 2021, and then COVID and all that. And it was having to work out from home, change things again, right? So you gotta constantly evolve, but I wasn't changing what I was doing. I was just changing how I was doing it. So now you work out from home because the gyms are closed, and then you have to get used to doing everything. And you're like, I like going to see the people at the fitness room, and they help me keep motivated. It's kind of funny too. It's like you look at the people that in the workout room with you, and you're like, you may never talk to that person, but you see them every day, and you just are accountable to each other, but yet you just like don't look. It's like a hello goodbye at the gym thing, and but they do keep you motivated. And I think that's kind of the last piece I wanted to talk about is grab yourself like some accountability partners, because like you will lose motivation on whatever you're doing. But if you can get someone else to buy into what you're doing, like this is your regimen, like it can be the one random guy at the gym, whoever it is. And it can be some buddies that go with you that have the same vision as you and motives, same workout times, whatever. Man, those will power you through the days that you don't feel good, or you're like, I'm just not invigorated about this today, or I feel crummy, or I have a cold, or whatever it is. Like, you have to power through the hard days to really form good habits. And if you can keep consistent with those without giving any excuses, you will develop a productivity monster for yourself. Because now this little morning routine I did, right? I'm just explaining you my morning. And it's evolved even more since then. But you will start unlocking the productivity hack, which, like, to produce a 4-hour work week, you need to be really concise, say Monday, 8 to 4 or 8 to noon, and be done working. So anyway, accountability partner, super key. I think it can help anyone, and it could be literally your grandma. If you don't have anyone, it could be your best friend. Keep them accountable and have, tell them your dreams. Tell your grandma your dreams. She'll just at least reiterate them back to you, and she'll be like, you know what? She'll follow up with you sometime. Hey, how are you doing on this goal? You wanted to read 12 books this year, or you wanted to buy 100 apartment units. I tell my grandma that. She's like, well, it doesn't mean much to her, but it's like, she knows it drives me. So, it doesn't matter who it is, but those are some of the ways. And I always like to tell, like, if you're just starting out and you cannot run any consistency whatsoever, kind of look at your day and how it's set up. Most people will be very reactionary in life. They will wake up late. They'll get their stuff done as quick as possible, brush their teeth, hopefully, right? And they're just disorganized. They get to work, later than they wanted, and then they're like, I'm not prepared. And when you're not prepared, you're not going to have a good day, because every day is going to be just the stuff coming at you. And you're never able to get ahead of that and actually work in front of that. Because when you're reactionary to the day, you're not getting any productivity done. All you're doing is spending a day at work, or a day, whatever you're doing. So I really spend some time preparing, because in the morning, that's when I get my head clean. But I don't actually go until work till about 8:30 for me. So, like, I get my whole space, like, usually the night before, and even in that time, I get it situated. So every hour, we're doing something like this. We're shooting reels. We're working on MAK construction. I'm working on my other companies. Whatever I'm doing, I'm very focused on what I'm doing. So kind of how when you get to work, what you want to do, like in the next productivity hack that I would tell somebody, is block down. Let's just use 1 hour per day. Just go open up a freaking, piece of paper, sticky note. Just write, if you're at work, 9 to 5, whatever, just say at 9 o'clock I do this, 10 o'clock I do this, 11 o'clock I do this, and then, I take lunch from noon to 1, whatever it is, and just focus on that task at hand. Don't be checking emails. Don't be checking notifications. Don't be checking all this stuff. Just literally block in 15 minutes to check emails and texts. Maybe every 3 hours or whatever you need during the day. But, like, don't be checking it all the time. Like, you're reactionary then. All you're doing is sitting there waiting for the next notification to come in so I can check it again. And I think there's some data out there from a Harvard student that said, like, it takes 19 minutes to actually get back into a deep work thought, or a productivity zone where you're actually getting shit done. And that's what life's about. You want to get shit done so you can be done at 5 and go home, right? Like, and so that's what I would tell you to do right now. Get a morning routine that you can follow. That's waking up an hour earlier, whatever it is. Do not add things until you get bored or master the one. If you can master the one, add something to invigorate yourself a little bit more. But don't try to just compile all this shit in front of you. And don't be making the morning routine, the fitness, the books. Don't be doing all that and then trying to make your work, 1 hour hacks. Try to just break it down and do one at a time, and just every week. And if you do the workout for 5 days a week, go and reward yourself on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever. Like, you have to appreciate when you guys can hit those. And if you can give yourself those little rewards, or ask your accountability partner, like, seriously, grandmas, best friends, aunts, whoever you're comfortable with, right? Like, sometimes if you want to be more accountable, reach up a little bit and grab an accountability partner, like someone like a year in front of where you want to be, or like someone you look up to, because them telling you is like super powerful. It's like, no, if I go and ask some of my mentors a couple years in front of me and they're like, yeah, hey, Mark, you didn't do this, I'm like, I'm going to feel kind of shitty about myself. So you want to really hold yourself accountable, and grandmas are good for a while, but you want to try to reach up for a mentor that's really willing to push you, and you can get a lot done. So, morning habits, so key to keep them consistent. Don't be inconsistent with this. Be consistent. Do the right things. I'm always going to tell everybody to drink a lot of water too. Like that's one of the best things you can do for yourself. Um, and if you guys want to take it a step further, like I always have a saying, like start going to the gym right away is going to be uncomfortable because you're not used to that, right? Like you're not used to the people, you're not used to the stuff, you're not used to how you feel. But let me tell you, like a month in or 45 days or a week or 2-3 months in, it's going to be comfortable. You're going to get comfortable with it. You're going to kind of get complacent with it. And you don't want to do that either, right? Little changes down the road, but get comfortable with it. And you'll get so comfortable with going to the gym at 5:30 to 6:30 like I did that it was almost uncomfortable that I didn't go. It was almost uncomfortable that I didn't drink water. It was almost uncomfortable that I didn't have an accountability person there. And so I made uncomfortable situations comfortable for myself. And I think when you can do that, you really start to unleash the productivity that you can really like have from yourself. And like, you'll end up being like a work machine, but you're just using your time wiser than most, right? Like you got kids, life's busy. Like I don't have a bunch of time to myself anymore. It's like you get home, like everything's coming at you. It's like, it's not a time to like tell your wife and go bail and hit the gym. I'd like to some days, but you know, and I always tell, if you're gonna add some stuff to work, like eat the frog. The hardest thing you have to do that today, freaking kill it. Like accomplish the freaking hardest goal you have in front of you. Do not wait till the end of the day. It will not get done. I'm telling you right now. If you have a bunch of problems in front of you, eat them up, spit them out, and move on to your block schedule of 1 hour per day. So I want you guys to do this today. Make a 1 hour goal in the morning. Wake up earlier. Like just that alone. Don't even have to go to work out yet. Just wake up earlier. And then I want you to make that block schedule. Something at work, something even for your day, right? There's 1 hour, focus on each thing. Just write down. You'll notice just from that tool, like we'll get down to like a half hour or 15 minutes if you want to get extreme productivity. But you will find the inefficiencies in yourself just from 1 hour. So, I don't know, Jen, is there any questions or anything coming up?
No, Scott just said, awesome stuff, Mark, off my 1 hour block engaged in construction technology. So Scott's blocking his time too.
Yeah. And if you can just get it to an hour, like you will notice how extreme your efficiency gets. And then, like I said, there's like extreme, like The Rock. I bet you he's like every 10 minutes, like no doubt. Like the guy is on it. He's to the next thing, but it might be the same thing. We're shooting this now. We're shooting 5 reels in 5 minutes, right? Like we're just using your time efficiently. But I'm all in on this right now, and I'll be all in on the next thing. I don't have my phone going off. I'm not checking to-do lists. I have time set aside for that. And you wouldn't know. I mean, it's just crazy how much time people waste on this kind of stuff. So, but build some disciplines in yourself. You guys got to start reading some material. If you have struggled with this, you got to change. It's all about a mindset change, right? Like get disciplined. I did a 75 hard challenge last year. And it was, everyone notices it for the physical benefits, but like the mental benefit of having to do those 6 things every day. It was just like, I didn't want to go work out. I work out in the morning. I work out in the afternoon. It was like, I just don't want to go work out in the evening. I did it. And that challenge is literally just supposed to break you down mentally. It's like 95%, I think, a mental challenge. But everyone posts the freaking physical benefits. All the benefits are up in the mind. And I would challenge anyone to do the 75 hard challenge if you're having problems with consistency. It's if you take that challenge and you go all in, it's like the military boot camp. Like you go to the military, you learn consistency. You know how productive those people are. So, all right, guys, that is all I got today for Monday. I will try to Zoom. We will be back next Monday. We're going to do this at noon. Try to bring you some material. We're also going to post this on our YouTube, where we have all our podcasts. So find me, Mark Kuhn, on YouTube, and the link Jen will link everything down below. But yeah, we appreciate you guys all. Y'all have a productive Monday. Start now. Let's go.